Let's move right Abby. And then come over to the tea bowl again. I'll tell you when to stop. We don't want to use all the water. So pour it in. That's good. Put the rest back into the kettle.
Thanks, Vince.
Just 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, straight up. Straighten back, round your arms, chest out, fast, faster, harder, 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 harder. Watch what you're doing. Pay attention. Shh. Look down. Watch what you're doing.
Look, Auntie.
Put them in there. Put them in there. Put them in there.
Okay.
And then circle on the center of the bowl, bring the tea whisk out, push back down. Get up with both your right hand, turn your left hand, once, twice clockwise, and set it down. Oh, turn it, yeah. Yes, it's one turn. So you turn it once, twice clockwise. Put it down in front, a little bit closer to him. Closer to the bowl, closer up. Yeah, and then step back with left foot and pop. And then you sit down. And so in this instance, you're the last guest. So she's already had tea. So you wouldn't say osaki ni, which means excuse me for going before you. So like I said before, you put the bowl next to her, you offer it to her, and you would say in Japanese, oshoban itashimasu. Which kind of means like, would you like more, or please let me join you, something like that. Put the bowl back in front of you. Bow to the host and say otemai, chodai, itashimasu. Is this yours? Yes. So take a photo, pick up with both your right hand, put it on the left palm, make a slight bow of respect, not to the person to the middle, and then turn it once, twice clockwise. Just wait, I have to clean the lenses. No, you've got one of those case covers. That's what it is. And then take one sip. Okay, and then I'll pass.
Welcome to the heart of Japanese tradition. In this video, I immerse myself in the ancient art of the Japanese tea ceremony, guided by a skilled tea master in a peaceful Kyoto tea house, Master Hote. You will discover how matcha is more than just tea. It's deeply meditative ritual rooted in mindfulness, simplicity, and soul. From the tools to the textures, every element reflects centuries of cultural wisdom. In Japan, tea is more than just a drink. It's a ritual, a philosophy, a way of life. And at the heart of it lies matcha, a vibrant green powder steeped in centuries of tradition. Unlike regular green tea, matcha is made from shade-grown leaves, carefully hand-picked, steamed, dried, and stone ground into a fine, silky powder. Every step honors patience, care, and respect for nature. The Japanese tea ceremony, or chanoyu, is not just about drinking tea. It's about being present. Every gesture, every movement is intentional. It's mindfulness in motion. One sip of matcha and it's like tasting the essence of the air. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Everyone, welcome back. If it's your first time, thank you so much for checking us out. Please subscribe if you like what we're sharing in this content. If you're getting anything out of it, please subscribe so you won't miss anything. If you're coming back, thank you.
Take the word matcha. It's with two Chinese characters, right? And ma means powder, and cha, of course, means tea. So it's powdered tea. But it's powdered green tea that's made expressly for the purpose of the tea ceremony. So that means, like, say, for example, if you take Earl Grey and grind it into a powder, it's not called matcha. It is powdered tea, but we have a different name. We would call it funmatsu-cha. It's a different word for powder. And so the matcha is shade grown. In this month, we're shading the fields. I'll show you some photos in a bit to give you a better definition of it. So we shade the fields, and what that does is it starves the plant of sunlight, and so they grow harder to get the sunlight. And what that does, it increases the nutrients in the plant, like the amino acids, the chlorophyll, L-theanine, things like this, and it makes the leaves sweeter. And that's actually why matcha has a vibrant green color. The processing after that. And so it's my belief that matcha is the purest form of tea that there is, because there's nothing done to it. We don't smoke it, we don't flavor it, we don't add flowers to it, there's no aging, nothing. And so what that means is we take it directly from the fields to the plantation, where we immediately steam it. And then after it's steamed, we we cool it, and then we dry it. And so that kind of locks in the flavor and gives it this dynamic, bright green color that you see in matcha. And so that's what matcha is. And so you're drinking the whole leaf, not the infusion of the leaves. So like, what would you say? Nutritionally much more better for you. It has this highest content of antioxidants. And so what you're going to drink today will give you a nice antioxidant lift, much more so than any other kind of a drink or any other kind of a superfood that matcha is considered one of. And so that's kind of what matcha is. And matcha is the only tea that we use for the tea ceremony. I've been getting a few questions of, well, can you use different teas for the tea ceremony? I'm like, can you use a basketball when you play golf? I mean, yeah, you could, but I mean, and so having said that, it's a little arrogant on my part. I should have, yes, of course, it's called the tea ceremony. It's not called matcha ceremony. And so, yeah, so for sure, in the tea ceremony, we use matcha. And there are two kinds of matcha, a thick tea and a thin tea. But all tea comes from the same plant. Like wine. All wine comes from the same plant. So there are different kinds of grapes, there are different kinds of tea leaves, but it's all from the same genus of plant. And so it's just the processing that will dictate how it will turn out and things like that.
So is the plant called matcha?
No, the plant, the technical name of the plant is Camellia sinensis. That's the scientific name, and then branches. Like, I don't know what they call grapes officially, but they're grapes, and then you have Concord, different kinds of grapes. So the tea plant has the same. I don't know in English what they're called outside of Camellia sinensis, and I don't know what Camellia sinensis in Japanese is. And then inside that we have different ranks like Yabukita, different branches or different strains of tea like that.
Is there any way to find out which matcha is? Because I suppose there are varieties in quality. For example, in Greece, we have a terrible time finding good matcha tea.
Not anymore.
No.
You send an email to me. They have the best matcha in Greece.
Is there any way to tell which matcha is better than another matcha?
If the matcha that you're buying anywhere is from a reputable company, like a Japanese-based tea matcha company, you're pretty much guaranteed it's okay. But some other companies, like what you don't want to buy is somebody that bought matcha here and created their own original blend. Oops, that's what I did. But different. And so, and taking it overseas, because oftentimes they're going with fields that do this second or third flush of tea. Proper matcha is only harvested once a year. In, like I said, this season from now, April we prepare the fields. In May and June we pick the leaves. And so the best location, historically the best location is Kyoto, Uji. But nowadays, all Japan has matcha, and the flavors are all quite nice. They're all good if they're done, like I said, reputable. And don't fall for organic. Organic doesn't really have a special meaning. I have three grades of organic tea that I have myself, and I wouldn't recommend them to anybody. I recommend my own personal line of 8 blends, or 8 different kinds of tea. But I have other teas as well that I, of course, have access to, but I don't recommend the organic ones for sure. But that doesn't mean that some organics aren't good. I just haven't tasted any good organic brands yet. And so what you want to look for, if you're seeing it, you look at the color and the aroma. If it's a dull green, leave it. If it's yellow, forget it. It should be a very bright, I'll show you exactly what it should look like. That's what high quality matcha looks like.
It has vibrant green.
Very vibrant green. And that's, like I said, that's the color. That's the color that you want to look for when you see the green.
Okay, that's vibrant.
Yeah. And so, like I said, that's the processing that makes it that color, that where you steam it and dry it and keeps that color like that. But like I said, now you don't have any problem at all. Purify the tea whisk and the tea bowl. So as I'm doing the purification, with the hot water, it has a twofold purpose. Of course, putting the hot water into the bowl will heat the bowl up, right? But while I'm doing the purification, I'm not only purifying the utensils, it's said to be that I'm polishing my own character. Polish it a little bit too much in some places. So, if there are no questions, I'll shut it and go to work.
The tools are minimal. The tea bowl called a chawan in Japanese, a whisk called a chasen, a scoop called a shaku. But the experience is rich. As matcha is whisked into a frothy emerald green, it invites you into a moment of harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. The 4 principles of the tea ceremony. 1 sip of matcha, and it's like tasting the essence of the earth. Grassy, bitter, smooth, and energizing. But more than the flavor, it's the feeling, grounding, centering, elevating. From the misty tea fields of Uji to the tranquil tatami rooms of Kyoto, matcha connects you to Japan's heritage. It's a bridge between the past and the present, between the spirit and the senses. So, take a moment, breathe, whisk, sip. Let matcha teach you that sometimes the most profound journeys begin in stillness. I know you've seen matcha before, but never like this. This is what real Japanese matcha looks like. 1 sip, 1,000 years of tradition. Not just tea, a moment of stillness in Japan. Somewhere in Kyoto, tucked behind sliding doors, is a centuries-old ritual. This is matcha. This is not just a drink, but a spiritual ceremony called chanoyu. Every motion is mindful, every tool handcrafted, and every sip a taste of Japanese soul.
That's the opening purification ritual up to the point where the tea is put into the tea bowl. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play a little bit of musical chairs. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that game, but what that means is you are going to become the tea master, you are going to become the first guest, you are going to become the second guest, and you are going to become the first assistant. So let's rotate. Come on down. Just say action.
Action.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, ready?
Wow.
So, what did you think?
Beep.
I've never heard something like that.
And so,
That's
tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Everybody ready?
yeah.
Okay. So I find in that instance, when I'm hitting it directly from the front, which is what I would be doing if I was in the tea house, you can hear there's a lot, a different reverberation, a very nicer, much nicer reverberation, if you would. And so at any rate, you'd hear that, you'd walk through the outer garden again. In English, we say to follow in your father's footsteps. So in Japanese, they say atotsugi, which is the same principle. They don't use father; it just means to follow something, to follow someone. And so, if you look behind you, you can see a statue of this man, several statues. It's the same man. This is the man that we refer to in Japanese as Sen no Rikyu. He's a famous Japanese historical figure related to the tea ceremony. Even if you don't know the tea ceremony, you will know him because in school you have studied him. You saw anime, manga, novels, books, comics, cartoons, movies about him. And so he's very famous. He's famous for having 7 samurai disciples that were popular, of course, in that day. So from his time, about 500 years ago, is when the tea ceremony began. But predominantly men at that time, and now mostly women. And so he had 3 families, 3 traditions of tea, blood related to this man. And those 3 families have 10 craft families that make utensils for the tea ceremony, like iron work, bamboo work, woodwork, mounting, lacquer work, ceramics, things like this. And I was interviewing one man, and he was the 15th generation of a man that makes cords, like this, that they use for tying. He makes flat cords, round cords, but the flat cords are important. So what I want to do is talk to you about the formal gathering I mentioned. And the formal gathering lies at the heart of the tea ceremony. And so everybody that practices the tea ceremony, we practice it with the purpose of being able to perform the formal gathering in its entirety. And the chakai is that the formal gathering, we say in Japanese, cha-ji. So cha, of course, again, is tea, but ji means thin. The hell's a tea thing? So nobody knows. And they don't have any concept, they don't have any idea. Even if they know each character individually, they put them together, it brings no image to mind. But it does, like I said, lie at the heart of what we're doing. What tea is about is me wanting to make the best bowl of tea I possibly can for you, and for you with all your heart and respect and humbleness to drink it and enjoy it. That's this interaction between host and guest and guest and guest. It's very important. Theme. The formal gatherings are, informal gatherings as well, are theme-based. We have 24 seasonal divisions throughout the Japanese year that we could select as themes. Any kind of what would you say, seasonal occurrence. Like say, for example, right now we're in the cherry blossom season. Last year, it was a little bit late last year, but the colored leaves seasons, like normally end of October, November kind of deal. This last year was November, December kind of. Anything like that, or any festival, like in the beginning of March we have Girls' Day Festival, in the beginning of May we have the Boys' Day Festival, in July in Kyoto we have the famous Gion Festival. So any of those festivals could be selected as a theme. Also any kind of an auspicious occasion like a wedding, a birthday, an anniversary, graduation, entrance, even memorials would be fine. And they don't have to be Japanese or Asian. It could be like a Christmas gathering, a Hanukkah gathering, Halloween, Easter, Valentine's Day, Star Wars if you wanted to. Totally up to the host to make the decision. But once you make that decision, then you have to select utensils that will reflect the idea of the theme that you want to portray. And then after that, in the formal gathering, we serve food. And so, have you had kaiseki? Have you heard of it though? Kaiseki is the pinnacle of Japanese food. It's the top Japanese food. I would say the top Japanese cuisine. And it has its roots in the tea ceremony. But of course, if you go to a kaiseki restaurant, you get a much more opulent serving of food than if you were having it with a tea master. Because originally it was just made to coat your stomach with for the thick tea that you're about to receive, right?
What is kaiseki?
Kaiseki is this kind of Japanese food, a coarse serving. I'll show you some photos of it later. Of course, it involves fish and rice and soup and things like that. Actually, let me just check. The shop's name is Ran Hote. Mm-hmm. Ran is kind of a play on words. Hote is the fat Buddha, the laughing Buddha, the smiling Buddha. That's how we say it in Japanese. And so I used to be quite a bit bigger, and that was my nickname, Hote. And so I lost a lot of weight, so like 80 kilos.
Wow, how did you do that?
No carbs.
No carbs.
That's how I beat my cancer.
Okay.
I had throat cancer. And then so through that I also lost some weight. And I'm cancer free for 6 years.
That is good.
And the shop's name is Ran Hote. And so it's only sold in the shop, and we do have online.
What are you trying?
Sweet potato.
Japanese potato. Right.
Fried chicken, sweet potato.
Good?
Yummy.
Potatoes?
We are trying. Where is it? Doesn't show. Sake, Japanese sake.
Cheers.
Oh, it's beer.
Cheers.
Yeah, you gotta try it. You gotta take it like a shot.
Oh, like a shot.
Yeah.
Liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah. No? Oh, you
feel like
wasn't even recording.
it wasn't.
Okay.
What did you have to do the rest of it? Guys, we just came back from Kyoto and we just got off the train from Osaka station right here. That's where we got off. And there's a Hilton Plaza right here. It's huge. That's so Hilton over here. And we're gonna walk to the hotel. When we were going, we took a taxi to come here to the station, and then we realized, oh my God, it's not too far. So it's walking distance. So we put it in the GPS, and we saw it was just 9 minutes from the train station to the hotel. So we decided we're just gonna walk. So that's what we are doing, figuring our way back to the Ritz-Carlton. But the Hilton is huge. It extends all the way here. That's all Hilton Plaza is. The Hilton Plaza West. That's all Hilton right here, but the train station. So choices. You can use the Hilton. Okay, we're going to eat now. So let's go. Let's see what they're selling today.